Welcome to Design and Style Visibility Stories. Design and Style is a podcast for designers by designers, with co-hosts Dixie Willard from Dixie Willard Design and Rachel Moriarty from Rachel Moriarty Interiors. The Design and Style Visibility Stories are brought to you today by the Design and Style Visibility Lab. The Visibility Lab is the only membership group that focuses on the latest strategies and tools to help you get more visible while showcasing your specific brilliance. We've got weekly online office hours with both of us, monthly topics, in-depth worksheets, and exclusive monthly trainings. Today on Visibility Stories, we have Albie Buabeng. Albie's passion for decoding spaces is the culmination of nearly a decade of retail visual merchandising and freelance marketing. Albie used her experience of space design and storytelling to launch a concierge shopping and online interior design service, in addition to a curated bi-monthly home decor subscription box, Decor Discovery. As both a designer and a decor stylist, she specializes in connecting fellow creatives with beautiful pieces and functional design to transform their ordinary spaces into extraordinary dreamscapes. With her exceptional eye for online redesigns and vignette styling, Albie has had the honor of working with dozens of busy creatives and influencers in their fields all over the country through the power of online interior design. Albie, I'm so excited. So we finally got to meet you in person. Despite my horrific, I am the worst at giving directions. I'm the worst at giving directions in a place that I don't know where I am. So somehow you made it to us, to the panel at Market. And it was so exciting to get to see you, give you a hug, hear you talk about your e-design business. And I don't know, I'm just excited. And you've got such a great smile. It's always so nice.
Oh, thank you. And I'm already I have the Market bug, so I'm already sat down with his work calendar because he has two sets of jobs. So
right.
So we had to sit there and coordinate, okay.
You're
I have to fit in another Market this year,
yeah.
For a real amount of time. So, but it was great. Just even that snapshot was perfect. Perfect. I got the bug. I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah.
I love it.
We're so happy you made it out. It was a perfect opportunity. You're so amazing at everything. We love to watch how you utilize all the tools that Albie was on the Design Network e-design panel with us.
Mm-hmm.
And you were an amazing panelist.
And before that though, she caught our eye. Because of her, all of the stuff she does on the Design Networks with their tools, their room styler and all of that. And so she did a webinar for us to show us how to use that. But I think...
and it's because it's one of those things that's duh to someone, but then to someone else, it's what?
Right? Yes.
It was great. And I get people DM me, personal message me and ask me about it. And I'm just sure, let's do it. I will happily show you how to do this. So it was great being able to do it in front of a bunch of people at once. So that was really awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
I want to back up though, because your story starts, your visibility story when it comes to, we just got to meet you at Market. You got to be on a panel in front of a couple hundred people. And who knows how many other people have seen the panel online at this point. How we got to know you, you had actually taken a break because you needed.
I decided to take a year off social media, just to quiet the noise and really get some clarity in my personal life, but definitely in my business. So that was no Twitter, no Facebook, well, in terms of personal Facebook, no Instagram. I didn't do Snapchat, any of those. I don't even know that.
Right.
And just to really kind of hit reset and really kind of get clear on how I was showing up in my business as a brand, and also challenge myself. And that's why I called it a 1-year challenge, because if I'm not doing these things that I think I'm supposed to be doing, how are people going to find me? I have an online business, but I'm not online. So that's kind of hand in hand when I decided to launch my YouTube channel, because I know YouTube and Pinterest are search engines. So if people are how to or whatever, they can find me there. So I got real uncomfortable, launched the YouTube channel. I started learning all these Pinterest strategies, started learning, well, not learning, but getting better at actually using my email list, and back to blogging. And just doing those things gave me such like a whole new way of approaching my business, how to talk to my people, who my people were, where they were. And it just ended April 1st, ironically on April Fool's Day. And it was a fast year, but it was like the best thing that I could have done for myself, hands down.
So what was the thing that surprised you the most about taking that time for clarity?
How much I wasn't really missing. Yes, you see all these like new features come out on like Instagram and Facebook. You see people doing all these things and you're like, ooh, especially me as a tinkerer. Ooh, I want to get my hands on that. But really I wasn't missing out on that much. Like I was really purposeful with what I was going to do. So I kept using Facebook groups, but I pruned that down to maybe a half a dozen groups, like that I was genuinely connecting with people or learning from people. I started really getting better at like what podcasts I was listening to because I didn't want to like overdo with the learning. So podcasts and YouTube channels, like being intentional, just where I was like getting information from and where I was meeting people. And so that kind of not having all that noise really made me realize where my attention could be best spent. And that's how I was still able to kind of connect with people. So I didn't really feel like I was missing out. Because I chose to listen to Design and Style podcast, I found Design and Style group. And fast forward, now I'm at High Point. I probably would have never known you guys if I was still like just hopping around on Instagram or hopping around wherever. So I think that was the biggest lesson, that I wasn't really missing out, because now I had to take a breather and really decide what makes the most sense for where I need to be.
And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people tend to skip. They think they have to be all of the places, and they don't realize that they need to figure out what's best for them, their business, and their audience.
Because being away, that really, I guess forced, for lack of a better word, that forced me to really define my niche. And I couldn't be everywhere because literally I had made that commitment to myself. So I couldn't, even if I wanted to. So it was like, okay, who am I trying to talk to? What do they want to hear? Like those questions that we're probably, I guess, usually scared to ask or don't know how to answer, I had no choice. And so where I thought I was going to have a lot of FOMO, I didn't. Because I realized like I was still able to pitch people the old fashioned way via email, you know?
Right.
And as opposed to just sliding in someone's DM, I was doing it the old fashioned way with a PDF and an email address, you know? So I didn't miss out on anything. And in coming back, I realized exactly where I want to be and how I want to be there. So even Facebook, you know, I knew exactly how I was going to use it coming back. Instagram, Twitter, like all those things, because that time away made me realize the role that each one could play, since I had already defined all those other things that I wanted to do.
You know what's crazy, Albie? I didn't even know until right at the very end when you kept saying, my hiatus is almost over. I didn't even know that you worked on social. I was like, what is she talking about? I didn't realize until you just explained it to us that you were just on it in that way, you know, because I mean, we didn't see a ton of you, but we got to engage, right? And so I did not realize that. I honestly, I was like, is it for Lent? Is it for, you know, like right at the end, I was like, I don't know. A year is a long time. That's amazing.
But it flew by, and I think that's because I didn't feel like I was missing anything.
Yeah.
If I was like really like craving it, that year probably would have felt super long. But I feel like it just kind of blinked. But it was also like a busy year.
Yeah.
So I think that was also what it is. Like I said, I was figuring out YouTube, and that I took 8 months out of the year just to figure out YouTube.
Wow.
So
that's like, saying a lot.
yeah, for 8 months, I sat at like 30 subscribers, and I'm pretty sure there are actually 30 people I know in real life, like my
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
And but once I got it, I went from that 30 to 100 to 200.
Wow.
Figuring out my email list. As people unsubscribe, people would subscribe because I was starting to kind of own my voice. So I spent a year of just getting better at branding, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming
and so I
your
think
brand.
that's why, exactly. And
But
that's why
now
I kind of just,
I love the Albie Knows. I mean, the Albie Knows is, I mean, it's a hashtag, it's a brand, it's a YouTube channel. Like, and now I'm just like, yeah, Albie Knows. Like, it's part of my language now. It's so crazy.
And that's how it started. When I officially decided to start my business, I just got laid off, and I was walking home, and I was brainstorming with one of my friends on my domain. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I need to own the name of whatever I'm going to do. And he was like, well, what are people always saying to you? And so I literally just scrolled through all my texts. Like, anytime people would ask me for advice, and almost every other response would be, Albie knows. Like, that's what people would say when I would, like, give them advice. And so I was like, well, I'm going to buy that. And I bought that domain.
I love it.
I was like, that's going to be my business name. And that's kind of what it was born out of, because I would just ooze, like, free information. And they're like, oh, Albie knows. And here we are.
Oh my gosh. I adore it. I'm so happy that you honed that in, because it's going to evolve, and I know that it's going to be, you have so many things in the fire right now. It's just amazing to watch, and you're just so knowledgeable and creative with the things you do. You're always pushing, hacking, I mean, I don't even know. I can't even find the words right now, but it's just fun to see the things that you come up with, and you're so generous with your knowledge and sharing it in our group. So we definitely want to acknowledge you for that, because you're really one of the members that we value, because you just share such great information. You're so smart.
To be fair, we value all of them.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yes, no. You bring that extra layer to the table where you are always so helpful and knowledgeable. And if somebody doesn't know, Albie knows.
Albie knows. We'll be like, we don't know, but Albie does.
Mindset. I don't know everything, but I know where to find the answer.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
that much I've always known. I've been like that in school, and like really just skating by on knowing how to find information. Like, that is how I've gotten through life, knowing where to kind of stick around and find information. And the other thing that taking a year off gave me time to decide which big ideas I needed to just let go of, and which big ideas to birth. Like, I have a whole Trello board of big ideas.
Yeah. Gosh.
You're in good company.
We should compare Trello boards. Oh my gosh.
Like, I literally just a whole board. I called it my idea bank. So anytime an idea would pop in, I got to the point where just dumping them in there, and then I would go back and kind of just comb through, like, no, this isn't for me, or you know what, this needs time to marinate. And watching people, literally just people watching for a year also. I realized which ideas were worth going forward with, which ideas maybe someone else is going to be better at executing, and which ideas to just drop altogether and release back into the universe. And again, that level of clarity, which ideas were really going to serve me in the way that I want to show up. It's a little selfish. Like, what's going to make the most sense for me before it can make sense for anybody else?
No, that's important. That's not selfish.
We're running businesses, so we have to be, kind of, we're lean businesses as well. So I think that's really smart.
And I knew where I had to kind of pull back, because outside of my business, I do have like a family and just a whole other life. And I'm not a firm. I'm a solopreneur. So I definitely had to know where I had to pull back, and where if I gave birth to something, I knew it could thrive without burning me out. Like, working for other people, I burnt myself out, and I refused to burn out working for myself. Like, that was a big part of why, like, I need to hit reset and get clear, and now I'm back, and I feel like everything is just firing off, like, at all cylinders, and it's a fun overwhelming in a way. Like, even just talking to you guys.
I told my husband, it's so funny, those exact words just came out of my mouth the other day when I was talking to my husband. I'm like, I am firing on all cylinders. It's funny because sometimes, you know, we all have different arms of our businesses, and sometimes this one, you know, kind of goes into, you know, I don't know, hiatus, and then, you know, whatever. Right now, all of my cylinders are firing, and it feels good. It feels really good, actually. It feels like all these little seeds I've planted over the last couple of years are finally, like, they're having their spring, right? And they're coming up and blossoming. So
like,
that's
the
really
garden
neat.
is finally starting to grow and thrive, and that's exactly the way I feel like me a year ago had a ton of ideas, and they were all painfully overwhelming.
Yeah.
And now I don't have that pain, pretty much. Now it's just kind of like an excitement because I got very clear on what's going to lead to the next thing, and so on and so forth. So it's a very exciting time.
Yes, and I'm excited because I happen to know a couple of the things you have up your sleeve, so we're going to have to talk about that again soon.
Yes, you'll have to be a reoccurring guest.
Yes.
Happily. Happily.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, and even though I think being visible is one of those things, I never thought about visibility the way that I think about it now until meeting you ladies. Like, just those small tweaks that make you go from invisible to visible. I never, and I have a marketing background. Like, my actual bachelor's degree is in advertising and PR, but I was always the market research person on my team.
Not surprising.
So no one needed to see where the numbers came from. They just needed to see the numbers. So, like, you guys really just gave me a whole new way about how to think about how I'm showing up in my business. So the timing of even just discovering Design and Style couldn't have been more perfect.
Well, one of the things you did, and this is one of the things we tell people all the time, is you did one of our challenges, our Design Network Challenge. You got onto the platform, and you caught the eye of Jason Harris, who is the founder of the Design Network. And, you know, we have a lot of people that come to us and ask us, you know, they have a show they want to pitch. They want to, you know, they want us to make the intro, right? And which is fine. But I always say, hey, if you want his eye, go play in his sandbox. He has a sandbox. Go over there, you know, and I try to tell people, if you upload a video, he has sent me a message within a minute of me uploading a video saying, hey, cool, you know. I am like, that's where he is.
It's his baby. He wants
his baby.
Keeps track of everything.
It took me a while to realize that, like, I knew Furnitureland South was the family business, but it took me a while to realize that the Design Network is his baby.
Yes.
Yeah. Actual founder, not like and I was like, I'm talking to the person who owns this thing.
Yes. Not just a profile on Facebook. Like, this is Jason Harris.
I was like, this is, and it was, ironically, I knew of the Design Network maybe about a year before that. Because I had been Googling design therapy, which led me to Kelly Ellis. Which led me to the Design Network. But I only knew the shows. So I had it like on my Apple TV, and I would just watch the shows while like I'm doing homework, and completely oblivious to the actual shopping and like that whole other side of it. So when you guys did the challenge, you kind of forced us to dig into the site, you know, telling us to do videos and uploads. And I was like, wait, I don't have to fight with SketchUp anymore? Wait, I don't have to. And I love to tinker, and I got to tinkering, and it is my new best friend.
Oh my gosh. I love that you just explained the thread that you were Googling design therapy. You found Kelly Ellis. I mean, it led you to all these different things. You were just on, as of recording this, you were just on a panel sitting next to
Kelly
Ellis doing a panel for the Design Network. I mean,
it's like full circle.
It's crazy full circle.
And I was only Googling design therapy, not because I knew of it. I wanted a name for my consultation, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to get sued.
Right. Of course.
And I saw that she didn't own the copyright. So I was like, okay, so I can still use it. But then I was just reading all the information on her, got her book, and then again, TDN, and so on and so forth. And now we're full circle, and I was sitting next to her not even a week ago. It was amazing.
I wish people, if you're listening on iTunes, I wish you could watch it on YouTube, because Albie's face, it's glowing right now.
And I remember telling my husband, who was on the panel, because I showed him the flyer, and he recognized Kelly's face because I have her book.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't you have her book? But he didn't know like much about the book. He was like, isn't she one of your professors? I was like, no, I bought that book on Amazon. Because he doesn't know what he's in, like a whole other world,
right?
Not related to design. I was like, no, I actually made a purchase on Amazon for that book. That was not a school book, but it was really like not even thinking in the terms of being a designer on TDN the way her and other designers are. I love technology, and I love technology that makes my life easier. So I just was ready to dive in head first. Like, well, how can I make this fit my business model? And got to tinkering, and I never thought that the owner, for example, was one of the people just hanging out, watching what's happening on his platform. But that was even an experience, again, that I can't imagine would have happened if I was just hanging out on Instagram, like all haphazard, posting just to post or whatever the case is. Like that, again, that intention, I have to attribute all of that to just being intentional.
That's perfect. I mean, that's just...
I know, Dixie and I are like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. We are just so excited now that you're back from your hiatus. We're so excited to see what all the things, we know you have big things planned, and we know that you will be very successful at them, because you're just a uber talented person, and we're happy to be just a tiny part of your journey.